The topic for tonight is 4 things difficult to have in life. In fact, I think some of you may have already attained, some of you may not, but still hope and looking for it. Why is it so difficult? What are they that everyone needs? Well, we will find that out then in here. And how to get them, I can only show in a Buddhist perspective. For the mundane or what you have already learned from your school, college, or experience, that will be skipped from this session. All right. Anyway, so if you just like to leave the comment, you can do it now, and I will answer and check it out later after the session. Oh, earlier there was 25. Where are the other 5 go? Well, anyway, hope they have a good inner peace time. Anyway, so let's go to our topic then. 4 things for, I think I mistyped, making it too long. All right, since I see this, I better fix it now before I forget. Just give me a few moments. 4 things, not 4 things. How could that happen? All right. Okay, never mind. Let's begin then. These are something that you've been looking for, and I'm sure not just only you, many people as well. And what are they then? First, okay, the thing that everyone wants at the moment, first priority is they which are depend, but this most people have is the prosperity, to be possessed things that they want without being punished or according to the law and owning it righteously. In other words, like you want your own home, you don't steal from anyone, you don't corrupt or cheat from anyone else. This is very important because you can feel completely secure. And thus every needs and every assets is really matter is that you gaining them without being punished, and you owning it without anyone come and take it away from you. Imagine this, when you are rich, like if you watch the news, when you are famous movie star, what's happened in LA at this moment, the fire burn and destroy, take away everything. What we all want is, we want to have it secure, and we want it stay with us forever. This is one thing that everyone needs. Well, if it's your, that's one thing. If it's not, it's not. Understand this, you will be able to detach and let go easier. But remember, what we have, we can only own temporarily, not all the time. Well, that should be enough, but if we want it for all the time, we would make ourselves more suffering than we really need. Number 2, the wish to be a good reputation. In other words, having fame, accept, well respect by many people. The desire for reputation is common, of course, but it must be with a good reputation too, not a bad one. Like you could be famous, but in a wrong way, which is not gonna be good neither, right? It's famous, but in a wrong way. So not only we do wish to have a good reputation, but also wish with our relatives and teachers reputable. In other words, we want to be respected by many, even by our close one, like family and friends or teachers who are teaching us. Imagine when you recall yourself being student, you want to be well recognized by your friends in the school, as well as your, teachers. This is one just step for getting into that point. But it is the same thing that everyone commonly have is they want to be famous and accepted by many. That's number 2. What about number 3 then? The wish to have longevity or live a long life. The thing is, we don't know how long can we live, because our life is like a time bomb. It could happen at any moment. But because of we don't know, we tend to overlook and sometimes don't really care, and thus we forget or overlook. The thing is, in Buddhist perspective, it has one law, not like our country where you stay or where you've been traveled to. It has different laws depend on where do you live or where you travel to. In Buddhist, they believe in this way that karma is only one law govern all kind of beings, not just only human. And karma greatly govern our lives, but not completely. The thing is that it's governed completely, not completely, because we still cultivate the good deeds for ourselves. So when our good karma begin to deliver its fruits, it could transform according to our own favor. Thus, if you like to live yourself with a prosperity of what you have wished for, cultivate more good karma will help you fulfill your desire. And the last one that everyone wants aside from living long is of course, this remain afterlife. All right. The wish to be reborn in a good realm. Some people said, oh, I don't believe in the afterlife. But deep down inside, they all want to go to the good place when they are heading to that destination, I mean, afterlife. No one wants to go to the unhappy realm. Thus, death comes to everyone, whether who you are. However, the big concern that is being reborn. Thus, if one doesn't believe that it doesn't exist, it's fine. No problem, no agreement. But just in case, still deep down, well, just in case I want to go to the happy place. Anyone has that kind of thought? Well, congratulations, you're not far from everyone else then. These are the 4 things that won't be easy because we don't really know how to cultivate or how to gain it. If we know how to gain it, it would spend a lot of time with trial and error, isn't it? Before you can gain, for example, does anyone own yourself a house? Own yourself a wealth? How long would yourself gaining that just to get one to pay off the debt from your house without any worry that's going to be taken by the bank? Well, it's going to take some time, isn't it? Yes, that is a lot of time consumed to get that. That's, well, don't worry. I will tell you now, in a Buddhist way, to gain these 4 things, how we can get that. You can choose to do follow, but remember everyone, one thing, Rome doesn't build in one day. To cultivate this doesn't come in one day neither. It takes time. If you think it's blemished, you can scrap. Won't have to follow. Just wait for the end of the session so we can discuss with the meditation. Either way, let's try and hear that out then. All right. The 4 methods described by the Buddha to gain these 4 things difficult to have in life are these 4 following. Number 1, one must have a full faith. I will get to that point. But let's know that first, these are the 4 things that you can get in order to you practice in order to gain these 4 things that difficult to have. 1 is having full faith. 2, observing full precepts. 3, giving willingly. 4, having full wisdom. Too short. That is why it needs some explanation. All right, let's begin with the first full explanation. Number 1, having full faith described by the Buddha is, faith in Buddhism is not just completely belief, but to understand and accept that life is governed by karma, whether it's good or bad, produce result. Thus, having the right view is to understand about the law of karma. Whether action good or bad once performed, you will have or receive the consequences. Thus, having faith in Buddha's teaching and practice will allow you to find in yourself gaining these four things to have in life. Why? Just mentioned earlier, when you cultivate more good, it will bring you more favorable outcome to you. That's when you are having practice doing more good. What you wish or desire may come to you faster, but remember, as I mentioned, things takes time. It doesn't come right away. But if you are really happy, from my experience, it come this way in this number. If you're really happy, like for example, you help someone so greatly with your good effort, you enjoy it, you think of it all the time. All the time, I mean, happy make your mind feel so blessed and fulfilled. 7 days. 7 days. Intermediate, 7 months. Longest, 7 years. This including negative action too. But remember, all the effect that you have done, according to our master, about 20% will deliver its fruit in the present life. About 80% will be keeping for the next life. So what you experience right now, whether you have done today, next 7 days, next 7 months, or next 7 years, that 20% will giving its fruit. But the more you use it, the more it will be empty too. So you have to cultivate more every day regularly. So it will be deplete. All right. Number 2, observe full precepts. To live your life with respect, well accepted by many. You don't have to go buy yourself fame, buy people a meal, giving people money to gain fame or get elected to become president or things like that. All you have to do is do these 5. Have you ever have a friend who you are respect because he is having good reputation, even though he don't really do anything to you? What are those reputation that you're respecting for? For example, he is harmless, well respect. He don't hurt anyone. He don't steal anything. He don't commit adultery. He don't say bad things that hurt people feeling, and he don't take drugs. Anyone has a friend like that? These already gain reputation and respect because of these 5 quality of the precept that one practice. When you do that more, if you wish to have a longevity, have a have a wealth that doesn't get taken away, this will bring that more fulfill later on, but takes time, remember. Okay. Number 3, give willingly. Not dominated by greed. Buddhists joyfully share things with others. In other words, in here, when you give someone something, if you have something like pay me back later or expect something in return, this, even though it's give, but it will not be willingly. But if you give without expecting anything in return, in this manner, you yourself will be having more friends who are love, who will love you without condition. Having a good friend start from giving. If you want to create a good relationship, first start with giving willingly, not expecting anything in return. Of course you can, but the more you have no expecting anything in return, the better the fruit of giving will be coming back to you. Just like when you love your wife, your husband, your son, your daughter, your parents, when they give you something, mostly if they are a good parents, good friends, good husband, good wife, They love without expecting anything in return. That's giving should be something like that, starting with. Number 4, last one. Having full wisdom. All right. Full wisdom in here not just come from reading alone, but it is come from your mind that is pure. In Buddhism, to gain this full wisdom is one practicing meditation. Practicing meditation at the first step. One may not see the result of the wisdom, but when you practice more, one will begin to feel it. I would say, feel it. Feel it what? Feel that these positive energy cultivate from inner peace, make you think, make you speak, make you act with more conscience. So you most likely to do less mistake. When you do less mistake, you gain wisdom from there. That's knowing that in here, this explanation, knowing that greed, hatred, and ignorance are defilements of the mind. Buddha renounced them by practicing meditation, as I mentioned. Hence, the mind shine and true wisdom arise. Maybe next year, next time when I come back, I already finished the presentation that I start with the 6-month course intensive, learning about the Dhammakaya meditation, how one can gain enlightenment and wisdom. Maybe explain that later on if one ever interested. But of course, it's quite boring. And of course, it is maybe interesting to some. But for those who are just want to find inner peace, this will not be a topic to be discussed. But the thing is, how one can gain true wisdom inner from the inner peace, that is something that need to be talked. Because when the mind totally still, when it's become still, it's kind of like the sediment in the water that been stirred, begin to falling down to the bottom, make it become clear to see underneath. Just like with the mind, at the current moment, our mind are infused with this hatred, ignorance, and greed. That's causing it to stirring up, making the mind become, I would say, dark, like a black hole. But once it begin to be more still, the mind begin less and dark. And then the mind eventually find its brightness, just like the sunrise when it's come. If you meditate right now, when you close your eyes, of course, it's only the darkness that you will see. It's just like midnight. But as you wait patiently, when the times come, sunrise will come. The mind too, when it becomes still, the wisdom and the brightness will shine into the mind. That's allow you to find full wisdom. And just this already that you're gonna be benefit from practicing meditation regularly. What you're gonna get from here is the feeling of positive. When you're feeling positive, feeling refreshed, you tend to be good, having a good mood. So what you think, what you speak and act will be more in a positive favor. When you're doing less mistake, you will be more happier living your life currently. And as you continue every day, it will be better and better. There were some cases that I taught in here. I'm not sure I mentioned this last month. There was one guy come to our temple. He was fat. He has a beard. And he was gloomy. This happened about, I think it's about 6 months now, last year. He said to me, you don't know this, but I remember when I come to your temple, I just want to, looking at the pond in your garden. And you invite me to come meditate. And I don't feel like I lose anything. I just come to join your session because our temple have session every Tuesday and Thursday night. So he come. And from that on, I don't really notice, but he always come and sit in the back alone, not in the crowd. He come continuously for 4 months at the time when he mentioned this to me. But now it's like 2 months passed already. He said that, at the time when I was gloomy and you came invite me to meditate with you, I was very sad and unhappy. But now, as I meditate with you and the group every week, 4 months, my life changed upside down. My wife getting back together with me now. I'm happy. I got a job. I'm not sad or angry with myself anymore. Thank you very much for inviting me to meditate. Look, that's all I said to him. But that's what he did to himself, practicing regularly. And so, believe this or not, it is up to you. But practice regularly does bring yourself positive outcome. Either way, hopefully this could be a good meditation session for you. All right. Enough with this. So at the end, I'd like to leave you with one words from our master, Luang Por Dhammachayo. Here, said on January 19, 2002. What has already been done truly belongs to us. But what has not yet been done is not ours. When we die, it will fall to someone else. We only get what we have done, no more than that. This is the principle of wisdom that every Buddha has taught in this way. In other words, what you have done, whether it's good or bad, will all entirely belong to you, not others. And thus, if you want to keep yourself with positive memory and positive outcome with your life, try to doing good to yourself and others, and thus it will come back to